A top aide to Republican Senator Ron Johnson attempted to arrange a handoff of false pro-Trump electors from the senator to Mike Pence just minutes before the then vice president began to count electoral votes on January 6, 2021. The attempt was revealed in text messages obtained by the January 6 Select Committee during its public hearing yesterday.
Text messages exchanged between Republican Party officials in Wisconsin show that on January 4th, the Trump campaign asked for someone to fly their fake electors' documents to Washington. A staffer for Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson texted a staffer for Vice President Pence just minutes before the beginning of the joint session. This staffer stated that Senator Johnson wished to hand-deliver to the vice president the fake electors' votes from Michigan and Wisconsin. The vice president's aide unambiguously instructed them not to deliver the fake votes to the vice president. Even though the fake elector slates were transmitted to Congress and the executive branch, the vice president held firm in his position that his role was to count lawfully submitted electoral votes.
You see what Pence's staff member said. Do not hand that to him.
Yes. And that made a big difference. After that revelation, Senator Johnson reluctantly spoke to reporters yesterday while seemingly pretending to be on the phone.
How much did you know about what your chief of staff was doing with the alternate slates of electors? No, you're not. I can see your phone. I can see your screen.
What your chief of staff was doing.
Does your chief of staff still work for you, Senator?
Can you explain what happened there? Why was your chief of staff even offering this to the vice president?
That's a complete non-story. We've issued a statement, and this is a non-story. I don't know what you're even concerned about.
Well, they said that your chief of staff was saying that you offered, you wanted to provide alternate electors in Michigan and Wisconsin to Vice President Mike Pence.
This was a staff-to-staff exchange, and I was, basically unaware of it. And the chief of staff contacted the Vice President's staff, said, "Do you want this?" They said no, and we didn't deliver it, and that's the end of the story.
But why was he even asking for that?
Because somebody delivered this to our office and asked to deliver that to the Vice President.
Did you support his efforts to try to get those slates to the vice president?
No, I had no knowledge of this.
Who's the person?
I had no involvement in an alternate slate of electors. I had no idea this thing would be delivered to us. Got delivered staff to staff. My chief of staff did the right thing. Contacted the vice president's staff. They said didn't want it, so we didn't deliver it.
Who's the person?
Again, that's the end of the story.
The words of Gladstone biographer Roy Jenkins, also a former member of Parliament. Yeah. Here you have the organ grinder blaming the monkey.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, this is it's just hysterical. I mean, he's clearly covering up. He's clearly not telling the truth there. But this whole fake elector thing, I mean, it really is highlighting the fact that this is a criminal, fraudulent conspiracy to create false documentation. And you have, I mean, you can't hand out counterfeit bills to people saying, well, the bank made a mistake, so this would be real money if the bank hadn't made a mistake. I mean, this is exactly the same thing. And I mean, the evidence yesterday showed. I mean, Romney McDaniel's testimony showed Donald Trump was neck deep in it. He was all in on the fake elector scheme, which involved false, fraudulent documentation. And it doesn't matter that he believes that somehow, he did or should have won, and has all sorts of facts that he claims that he should have won. He was conspiring to commit to throw in false documents. And it's sort of interesting too, because you had Rudy saying, yeah, we got all these legal theories, but no evidence. And then you had the judge out in California, Judge Carter, saying this was a coup in search of legal theory. Well, they had coups in search of legal theories that didn't have evidence. I mean, it is absolutely a complete sham that, if this doesn't show fraudulent intent of these co-conspirators all the way up to Donald Trump under the relevant federal statutes, I don't know what does.
It's an extraordinary case that they're patching together. I mean, the conspiracy here, John Heilemann, is so widespread, and the thought that a chief of staff would pass along an alternate slate of electors that a member didn't know about is beyond preposterous.
Well, Joe, it's worse than that. So I've watched all the video of Senator Johnson trying to respond to this question. Under his, once he moved past the fake phone call and answered the questions that he was asked.
No, you're not. I can see your phone. You're not on your phone.
Yes, I mean, look at that. Look at that.
Painful.
You don't even have to see the screen to know it's a fake phone call. So his explanation for this is what happened. A House intern who is unnamed passed along a slate of fake electors to his chief of staff, Senator Johnson's chief of staff, also unnamed, who then suggested that Senator Johnson should carry that slate of fake electors and put the slate of fake electors in Vice President Pence's hands on the day of the certification, that very day. And then he says, we sent an email or a text asking the Vice President's office whether he would like that. The Vice President's office came back and said, no. And so there's nothing to see here, Joe. Nothing to see here. That chain of events, unnamed House intern passes along a slate of fake electors to Chief of Staff, a powerful Republican U.S. Senator, who then attempts to get it into the Vice President's hands on that day. He says is a non-story. I'd like your analysis of how congressional offices actually work to kind of do an assessment of how plausible you think that account is.
Yeah, well, I think it goes without saying that nobody that ever worked with me would have ever done that on a single vote. Certainly would have never passed anything to anybody in leadership, in the House leadership or the Senate leadership, without passing it by me first. It doesn't work that way. I would have people saying, oh, Joe, you're supposed to be so conservative, and yet you have moderate Republicans and Democrats on your staff. And I go, they don't vote. I do. Oh, they're going to influence. I said, what are you talking about? No, it doesn't work that way. And the whole...
Guess who knows that?
Yeah. I mean, Ron Johnson knows that. Yeah. Every member of this. By the way, you bring up a great point here. I know that's a lie because I served one of 435 in the little house. But in the House of Lords, this definitely never happens, right? And it certainly wouldn't happen with somebody that's been in office for as long as Ron Johnson's been in office. It will never happen that way. So everybody on the Hill, including other Republicans, know he's lying. The question is, of course, Jonathan Lemire, where do we go from here?